I played guitar for 20 years. Now, I learned a lot in those years because I did a lot with that hobby. And I even got to a point where I was making money with that hobby. However, with certain circumstances and the fact that a lot of us had our employment thrown off 5 years ago because of the you know what that we're not allowed to say on YouTube, it became something that was not a form of enjoyment for me anymore. For a lot of reasons, but a big, huge factor was that I felt like I had obsessed over it too much and I was becoming quote unquote too good at it. And this leads me to the main topic of this video, which is that you should not get good at your hobbies. This is why. I believe there is a certain beauty in that of simplicity. And I think this strikes a note, no pun intended, with a lot of people out there. I've had a lot of guitar teachers, but one of my guitar teachers once told me that you're going to get farther with your guitar playing if you practice more simple songs, more simple melodies, and differing techniques when you're performing. Because if you're too fast, if you're just playing, fast all the time, the average person is not going to be able to relate to that. I would say this applies to every hobby. Because, as you guys, some of you guys who actually still watch my channel, there are a couple of you out there who have been watching my content for close to 10 years. For you people, you've seen that I've kind of gone through different phases with this whole fitness channel. I've kind of messed around with calisthenics. Then I kind of transitioned more into like acrobatic training. And then from there, I kind of got into martial arts. Then I kind of took a break there for a little bit and I came back, did a little more martial arts and expanded into like grappling and stuff like that. Then I got into skateboarding and then scootering, and now I'm really into the mountain boarding thing. However, what I'm learning is basically the same lesson. Circling back to guitar, I enjoyed guitar the most after my first couple years of doing it. That's because I was quote unquote good enough after that point. I was good enough to where, I had enough confidence in my skill. I didn't think I was the best. I didn't think I was even really that great. But I was pretty flipping good. In fact, I was good enough to win a talent show. And that was only whenever I was like 13 years old. Yeah, at 13 years old, I was in a huge crowd full of people. It must have been several hundred people in front of me. And, I didn't care, That's because at that point in my life, it was a passion project of mine. And I want to keep that same energy with these new hobbies. I don't want to get super good at them. I love mountain boarding, but I learned a little lesson the other week when I went back to the skate park, is that I can't do too many tricks at once in one day because I will tear something. I pulled some muscle in my abdominal area and I had like a stomach ache for like a week. So now my sort of rule, if you want to call it that, is that I'll do one side of the park and then the other side of the park. So I'll do the right side and the left side. And from now on, what my plan is going to be is I'm going to go do the drop-in. The park is basically set up in two sides. It's really kind of set up like that. You can go through it any way you want, but that's kind of how it's built. So the left side, or sorry, the right side is bigger, left side is smaller. So I was thinking I will probably do one run per side every time I go to the skate park and then leave. So on the right side, I'll do drop in, that's not really a trick, and then do a small little rock to fakie on that other end, on the quarter pipe on the other end. Then once I go onto the left side, drop in on that smaller quarter pipe and then the bank, and then over the A-frame, I'll do an ollie and do some kind of grab trick, then do another ollie on that little bank quarter pipe, and then call it a day. And I think for me, that's going to provide me with the most happiness from my hobbies. Yes, with my prior hobbies, I was able to eventually kind of make some money with it, but I grew to hate it. And for me, especially with mountain boarding and my new hobbies that I'm learning, I want to keep my enjoyment of them. So I'll probably never want to get super good at all, basically any of them. And I will say, I think that anyone else out there should perhaps give this perspective a thought.